Hello again, everyone. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles, here to talk about the best and worst music of 1992 with our tops and bottoms of the year, whether it be albums or singles. We are here to discuss it. And we are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fithen, along with Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora, Richard from Calvin Wazoo. Ladies and gentlemen, the man that always starts off the 99 bottles of beer on the wall song on bus trips, Mike from Hub Tunes.
You've been picking on me a lot lately.
We have props.
Well,
I'm starting to journey off then, right?
Yes.
Up your bum.
Well, 1992 was kind of an interesting year. I mean, one of us, I'm sure, is going to be talking about one of the, some band that really made an explosive. Well, actually, their big debut would come a little bit later, but they had a big album coming out at that time. But some interesting news. Remember when CDs came in those long boxes?
Yes.
Long boxes, they were called.
They were
great. Well, they started to, six record companies got together in February of 1992 to make plans of how to phase them out. So that was the beginning of the end of the long boxes. It was the year of the fifth Farm Aid in March of 1992. And also in April of 1992, David Bowie marries iMom. That's pretty much all I got here. There was a massive Bob Dylan tribute concert that was at Madison Square Garden in October. Had a lot of people. This is also when one of the times that Sinead O'Connor got booed because of it was in response to her recent appearance on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So when she was absolutely correct.
Yes. Yes. And she was what's the word? She was cleared, or she was what's the word?
Vindicated.
Vindicated. That's the word. Yes, she was eventually vindicated. All right. So, but let's get into the music of the year.
Oof.
And I don't have a whole lot, but the ones that I have picked were important ones to me. For my honorable mentions, this is not in any particular order. I have a lot of CDs because it's 1992. There was a lot of music that was released on CDs. Some of it eventually was released on vinyl. But as Robert has said, many times, a lot of the music that originally appeared on CD, when it got repressed on vinyl, not a lot of thought and care was put into it. And it's just better to have the CD, unless the later reissue might have been remastered for vinyl, which didn't always happen. But anyways, Lou Reed, Magic and Loss. I don't listen to this record very much because it's a tough listen.
Yeah.
But it's really, really good. And the Sword of Damocles is probably the most well-known song on it. But
it's a really good record.
The Sword of Damocles going over my head.
Ow!
Not sure if that's really how
Cutting the
this
thread.
song goes.
Oh, it's a different. Oh, it's not Rocky.
Yeah, it was a good. It wasn't not necessarily a personal account of what Lou Reed was going through. It was an account of a friend of his who was going through cancer treatment. Particularly at that time, they were doing the cobalt treatment, and it's a reminder that even in the 90s, medicine was still pretty primitive in the way it dealt, particularly with various forms of cancer, and how far we've come with this. Next one, I do have this on wax, and that's Jesus and Mary Chain with Honey's Dead.
Yeah.
On this nice orange vinyl. Very good record for the year. Not my favorite one of theirs, but it's really a good record for the year. Now I got to find a place to put this stuff here. All right. The next one is another CD, and where is it? No, it's right here. I have the. Boy, I'm all messed up here.
He's a little
You
miscompleted.
are all messed up.
Because the record I wanted to show is the Bob Dylan "Good as I've Been to You,"
Oh, yeah.
which for some reason it's a CD. And it's a good collection where he was doing cover songs. Here it is. There we go. So this is a collection of various folk songs that he did. Probably was not didn't draw make people crazy that who are Bob Dylan fans, but I do like this collection that he did.
MoFi just reissued it.
Yeah, it's
I was surprised.
probably it's digital, so they had the digital
They didn't
master.
have to do anything. It was easy.
Right. Then I must have put these in the wrong order, which I see that I did. Also on CD, Neil Young, Harvest Moon, was released. Decent record. I enjoyed it a lot when it first came out, but I, haven't listened to it a whole lot since.
Yeah, I liked it when it came out too, and it's kind of meh now.
Yeah. Now these are compilations in an EP, but ABBA and the ABBA-esque and the Pop for Erasure, both of these came out in '92, and they're really good. I mean, this was my introduction to Erasure. And man, I just would play this over and over and over again. And I still listen to it on occasion. I really enjoy also their covers of ABBA. I just love the way they did that. All right, what's next? I don't know if this is one that people like all that much. I enjoy this. Screamin' Blue. This is Midnight Oil.
Excuse me. I've never heard that one.
This
it's live,
is
right?
I'm trying to remember because I did not listen to this before doing the show, but I think this is a live recording.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, sometimes was the single.
Or maybe it wasn't live. No, this is a studio recording.
It's live.
Is it live?
I think so.
Or,
yeah.
No, it's Memorex.
Blown out of my seat. All right, and then Michelle Shocked.
Yeah.
Crazy girl. She's a little bit toasted, but I liked her music. Still like her music. And this was probably her last good one before she really flaked out. But I really do enjoy this.
She flaked
record.
up before that.
Yeah. And then let's see. Oh yes, then there's the record on vinyl here by Big Black, Pig Pile. Yeah, I don't know if many people like Pig Pile, like oh God, now I'm drawing a blank on his name. I'm having a senior moment. Help me.
Oh, don't know.
Bill Smith. Henry Higgins.
Bono.
Henry Rollins.
Oh, he's the recording engineer that everybody loves to hate.
Steve Albini.
Steve Albini, yes, that's a big pile. There we go.
Well done.
Thank you for that save. Okay, so those are my honorable mentions. Now we're going to get into my top 10. And at number 10, I had a couple other records in my list, but then when I went looking for my physical copies, I didn't have one. I thought I did. So that brought this one back into my top 10 list. And at number 10, this is Aphex Twin Selected Ambient Works, which it's kind of an anthology from when he was 14 years old and he was recording on cassette decks, and then all the way through up until 1992. It's still considered probably his top release. It is the most comprehensive and the most enjoyable. There's a couple tracks that are not, they're a little shaky, but it's good overall. And then this one, the Jayhawks with Hollywood Town Hall. This, when the first time I heard this, It just really is amazing. It's kind of jangle, a little country-ish with that, but man, it's just so many great melodies.
Their best album.
I would like to see them. They come to Chicago on occasion, and so one of these days.
I think they're coming here soon.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing something, but it's a venue that isn't. I can't remember, but it seemed like it was a venue that was a little difficult for me to get to.
Yeah, there was a reason I wasn't going. I forget. Yeah.
The Black Crowes with the Southern Harmony and Musical Companion. Yes, great. Such a great record. I mean, it is really solid all the way through. Has one of my favorite lines from them where he's singing like he's a preacher with a mouthful of spiders and a sermon full of hate or something like that. It's such a great metaphor that I just like it so much.
I've got a head full of sermons and a mouthful of spiders. The prophecy of the world's greatest liar.
Yes. Social Distortion, Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. I dig these guys. This is such a great band. First time I heard them was on 120 Minutes. And this was the first album of theirs that I got, and I have pretty close to all their releases now, up at least the 90s. They had some later ones. They come to Chicago quite often as well, but I so far have managed to miss each show that they put on. Sonic Youth and Dirty. When I listened to it this week, and I forgot how good this is. This is really, really good. I think that what's her name, Kim Gordon. I think this is when she was peaking. Her songwriting and her presence, but at the same time, Thurston Moore and the guitar work and Steve Shelley's drumming is just amazing. The sounds, the tones that they get out of the guitars, it's beautiful noise to me. It's incredible what they do. Perhaps they're one of their strongest releases. I think the Adventures in Hi-Fi is even better than this because it's kind of a carryover from these sessions. But REM with Automatic for the People, just one good song after another, sort of going back to what they were doing before Out of Time. Out of Time was just a really big commercial breakthrough, but this is more of a return to their earlier form. So, and then I have another CD that I found that I forgot I even had as my number 2. And I kind of chuckled about this because of comments that were left on a previous video that we did a year for. And but yeah, this is really good. Do you remember the Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy? I hadn't listened to this in so long, and then I pulled it out and listened again, and talk about relevance. Talk about it speaking to exactly the same issues today. And one of the issues it was talking about, a couple songs that they're singing about or rapping about is environmental racism, and talking about low-income neighborhoods, how they're always putting all the nasty chemical sites and things like that, by these neighborhoods. But yes, this is I forgot all about this, and I really enjoyed listening to it.
Don't they have a song on there about eating meat or something like that from a cow that's stressed out or something, and the stress of the cow when it's killed makes you stressful because anyway. I just thought they had definitely different ideas than most of the rap that was coming out at the time.
Oh yeah, this was much more socially aware. It wasn't. It was political in nature, but it was doing it in a very informative style. almost educational kind of way. And then the sounds, I classify it as industrial rap because a lot of what they're doing also involves sounds and noises made from metal and from clanging things together, not just the beats being created through other electronic instrumentation. But this one for 1992 to me is still an absolutely amazing record, solid all the way through, in your face all the way through, relevant all the way through.
Oh, okay.
And that's Rage Against the Machine, their debut.
Killing the name.
What a fucking great album. I mean, it's intense. It's an album you gotta play loud every time you listen to it. And it's one that I listen to with some fair frequency. It's just as relevant today. And that's my sort of disjointed, erratic representation of the music of 1992, which might be appropriate because there was a lot of chaotic and weird shit that was going on that year. There was some new things happening, but there was also some feeble attempts at reviving other things. And then, I don't know, to me, this was also the beginning of the end, or I hoped it was the beginning of the end of that new style of R&B that was going on at the time. But maybe more about that later.
It definitely was not the end of that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Craig, is it you?
It is.
That's me.
Singles.
That's me. I got 4 honorable mentions in the top 15. I don't know why I like this song, but I like the song. So that's why it's only a mention. But Megadeth with the Symphony of Destruction. Just like a marionette. I don't know why I like that song. It's so great. Nobody's agreeing or disagreeing, so that's
I've never heard it.
No, I'm not a Megadeth listener, so I really
definitely
don't know.
One of their better songs.
I don't think it's I feel like the Rust in Peace or whatever that was. I feel like that was better, but I really liked that song for some odd reason. Jesus Loves You with Sweet Toxic Love. Jesus Loves You was a band that Boy George did. It was released as a single in the US, but under Boy George. But it was actually Jesus Loves You, and they did I think like an EP or something like that. I think it's basically Boy George, but Sweet Toxic Love is just a fantastic song. And we're flipping it here with Lori Morgan and Watch Me. Think it won't go? You watch me walk away today. And then also Mary Chapin Carpenter.
Watch me walk away.
Ooh, watch me walk away. And then Mary Chapin Carpenter with I Feel Lucky.
There it is.
I feel lucky. Yeah, whatever. Okay, number 15. Excuse me while I have a drink. Would be the Diggable Planets with the Rebirth of Slick. Cool like that. Because I'm cool like that. I'm chill like that. That was Butterfly, Ishmael, Mariana Ladybug Mecca, and Craig Doodlebug. But their hip-hop trio, I really enjoyed that song. I never heard the album. Number 14 would be Teenage Fan Club with What You Do to Me. Off of, what was the name of that album? It had a big bag of money on the front of it.
Bandwagon-esque?
And is that what it's called? I don't know.
Right?
I need to get that, but I think that's what it's called. Yeah. The single for What You Do to Me had a brilliant cover, which was like acoustic, of Madonna's Like a Virgin. It's fantastic. Number 13 would be L7 with Pretend We're Dead. Because we pretend that we're dead. So good. this song, well, this album, because it's so great. Number 12. I have so many fond memories of this song, of dancing with my best friend, who's not here anymore. But the Cranberries with Dreams.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. It was from the Batman 2 soundtrack. Batman Returns. That what that was called. Susie and the Banshees with Face to Face.
Yeah.
To Face. And here, I'm going to hear it again. But number 10 on my list is The Ghost of a Texas Ladies Man.
Oh my God.
Concrete Blonde.
No, he did
Don't
that.
scare me. Don't
He
scare
did
me,
that
I
shit on
cry.
Just did that to fuck with you.
I really liked his
absolutely not.
spirit. And then when we did that video, I said it reminded me of some shit that somebody like Mary Chapin Carpenter would put out. So a double
Whatever.
dose.
And for the record, this list was done before we did that video.
Oh, you're ahead.
For
I
the
have
record.
no doubt that it was done before.
Mhm. Number 9. Kind of I don't know. It's kind of a sad song. Everybody's broke and can't do things. Mama's been laid off. Papa's been laid off. But Sade, however you want to say it, with Feel No Pain. And a brilliant record, I might add. Yeah, I'll hear it. Whatever. Number 8 would be the Bare Naked Ladies with Be My Yoko Ono. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Number 7, Morrissey with Certain People I Know. It's kind of like his country little flavor. Bam, 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 bam. I love that song. It just makes me very, very happy. And this is a fantastic record. No visual. Number 6 would be Prince with 7. Or, excuse me, the artist formerly known or Symbol. I love that song.
Oh
Don't
my
you
God.
do that? Don't you do all 7 and they watch them fall? I love the bing, 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 bing. I love that song. Number 5.
Sounds like a pinball soundtrack.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know. Number 5 would be The Beautiful South with We Are Each Other.
I've heard them.
Mm-hmm. And this
I've
is
heard
a
of them.
fantastic cup. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, so good. Number 4 would be Suede with The Drowners. Slow. Oh, and I love that line. We kissed in his room to a popular tune. So good. Number 3 is Sunscreen with Love You More. Nobody knows Love's Sunscreen, do they? No. It was kind of like this dancey little techno thing. They had only 3 records. They were a British group, if I'm remembering correctly. The debut album was called 3 or 03, however you want to do it. But Love You More, just very dancey and.
Oh, look. Does Robert have it?
No, I'm pulling something else.
And you
You're
know
pulling
you
up
can
Sunscreen.
never make me love you more. Sunscreen, yes. So number 2 would be George Michael with Too Funky. And that was on the dance, the
Red Hot and Dance.
Yes, that had 3 George Michael songs on it, if I remember correctly. Maybe only 2. And number 1 for me from 1992. Album was a big deal for me that year. And this particularly this song, number 1 would be Tori Amos with Crucify. I got a cat named Easter. He says, will you never learn? And I later named my cat Easter because of that song. So, but my Easter was a female. Was not a he. Says you'll never learn.
Okay, so yeah, 1992. Like Richard was saying, mine are all CDs, and we've already talked about Rage Against the Machine. It sounds a little bit dated now, but I love the intensity of this when it first came out. It was definitely different, and I wish they would have stuck around a little bit longer. It seemed like they broke up and went away right when they were needed most. If everybody remembers what time that was and what was happening at that time, and then you're like, where's Rage Against the Machine? Oh, they can't agree on a guitar tone, so they're going to put out a covers album and break up. I'm still really disappointed in them for that. Black Crowes were already talked about. This is my favorite Black Crowes album. I think it's probably a lot of people's favorite Black Crowes album. I love how this was just just pure rock and roll. It wasn't any kind of alternative. It wasn't like a hair band trying to still make it. There was a lot of that going on at the time. It was just straightforward. And we already talked about Honey's Dead from the Jesus and Mary Chain, which was my first experience with the Jesus and Mary Chain was this album. Reverence and Teenage Lust is a great way to start this off. It also has, what was the other big song on here? I don't remember, but yeah, this thing is pretty cool. This was when I was getting alternative and, with into the 90s stuff. And that was one of those bands that I'd heard the name, but that was the first actual thing I had from them. Let's see here. We already talked about Sade. Love Deluxe was the full album. Just any Sade album is great because she puts out so few. She kind of has her own schedule. But I did want to pull this particular one because I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's how you say her name. It's right there on her CD spot. Sade.
But the R is done too hard. That's why I don't like it. It's not Sade. Listen to her say her name.
Right. It's the Ace Frehley thing. When you have an accent, she doesn't pronounce any R's hard. That's the way she talks. It's the same thing with Ace Frehley. Anyway.
Yeah, wait, Ace Frehley has an accent?
Like her.
Yeah, Ace Frehley's going to team up with Sade and do a...
I didn't know Ace Frehley had an accent. I don't think I've ever heard the man speak.
Yeah, he's in New York.
Oh.
Very strong East Coast. 9 Inch Nails and Broken. Yeah. I liked this much more than I liked Pretty Hate Machine. I heard Pretty Hate Machine and was not impressed. I didn't like the bow down before the one you. I just never really. I'm like, this is kind of weak. But this is where they got my attention. And the cute. Oh, look how cute. This is adorable. The cute little disc that you get on the inside, little 3-inch CD. How sweet.
What's on that?
I don't remember.
And what can you play it on?
And how do you play it?
You can play it on a CD player because the hole in the middle is the same size. You can't play it on one that you would put the CD in like that. It was the kind you had to
Suck is one of the songs, and
of course Seattle is huge. Nirvana and Pearl Jam just came out with an album, those huge albums the year before. And so also, though, we can't forget Alice in Chains. They got their 92 album, Dirt, which is kind of where they broke out. I really like a lot more of this album than I do Facelift. Facelift is okay, but I was never a big fan of Man in the Box. But this has Angry Chair, which is probably still my favorite song from them. This Bones is just a great way to kick it off. Wasn't a big deal. I was never really that into Rooster, but Wood is great. Just great songs on there. You open wide and you're mine. What is that? That's Sea of Sorrow. That's on Facelift. Never mind. Mudhoney, Piece of Cake. Wow, there's a familiar scene for me. None of these guys' heads turned, though.
You wear a hat?
No. But Suck You Dry is on here. Sweet Oblivion from Screaming Trees, another Seattle band as well. When did Versus from Pearl Jam come out? That must have been 93 because I didn't pull that. But that's Versus. That's my favorite. My favorite Pearl Jam album. Huh?
It's 94. I think it's 94.
That's not 94. That's got.
Or Vitality was 94. Maybe it is 93.
Yeah, it's 93. Or else I would have pulled that. Grunt Truck, another kind of grunge band with Push. Or no, Push is the song. Yeah, Push is the album too. This was a record store day thing that came out a couple of years ago, and suddenly everybody loves Grunt Truck, and nobody had ever talked about him before. I love when that happens. Don't you guys love when that happens? A band. Oh my God, they're my favorite band of all time. Okay, name one of their songs. Rock and Roll is Rockin'? No, that's not a song.
I love that song.
Really loved this when it was out. James and Seven. This was before the big Laid song that put them into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
But I was working at Blockbuster Video, and there was a guy there that was really into this band and lent me this CD. And so I went out and got my own. But this thing is solid all the way through.
I forgot about that.
Not usually the kind of music I'm into, but these guys, this is stellar.
Yeah, that's a great
Seven.
record.
I'm not sure if they had, this is their 7th album. I know they had a couple before this, but yeah, I mean, really great. Cowboy Junkies, Black Eyed Man. I recently discovered.
I forgot to mention that one.
Yeah, this is my favorite Cowboy Junkies album. I just found that out recently, and there isn't really a close second. I had hoped that more of their albums would sound like that. They don't. But that one's really good. This one is so atmospheric, and the lyrics are about all kinds of different things. And the songs on here, a lot of them are about like a town or a situation they're in, and it's just really, it's gothic type alt country. It just really is very atmospheric. Cowboy Junkies. Ministry with whatever the hell this thing's called. Some people call it Psalm 69. I don't think the name is pronounceable.
How to Suck Eggs or something like that too.
I don't know.
That's
There's
somewhere in there.
I mean, that's the name. Whatever the hell that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the one with all the. This is really the only ministry that most people need. I mean, Burning Inside off the one before this, and maybe something off of In the Land of Rape and None. That's pretty cool, but this is the peak. And after this, wow, did they immediately go downhill? White Zombie, speaking of going downhill, this is the only White Zombie. I mean, there's a couple off the next album, but this is great almost all the way through. They really had their own sound and their own thing going on at that time. Rob Zombie solo stuff, I'm not a fan of at all. It's all techno mishmash. You got too popular. This, though, it's a real band, real instruments, real drums, really fun. Kind of heavy metal disco. It's all got a beat, and it's all, especially Thunder Kiss 65. That's still the best. Luna. They had a big song with Slash Your Tires. This is Luna Park. Never will forget when I went to... I've got a Luna shirt. I should have worn it. Went to see those at Cicero's, the basement bar that's no longer there in St. Louis. And they're doing this song. It's a small place. And they're doing this song. It's a mellow song. It's a John Lennon cover called Hold On, John. From that Plastic Ono Band album. Yeah. Hold on, John. John, hold on. It's going to be all right. And there's this part in that song, I don't know why, but all of a sudden somebody goes, Cookie. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And so they're singing it, and the place is super quiet, and I go, Cookie. Like that, like right when they do it in the song, and like 3 different members of the band look at me like, I was like 20 years old. I felt like the coolest, I remember it was 21 because it was a bar. I felt like the coolest guy in the world for like 2 weeks after that. I'm like, I was right there with the band. Like, we were like this with Luna.
And they'll bring you up on stage to do it next time.
Yeah, really. I could have gone on tour with them. I don't know why I didn't pull these. I thought I had all these pulled. Annie Lennox with Diva. Annie Lennox has such an awesome voice. And you kind of realize that, Dave Stewart was part of Eurythmics, but he really, it was Annie Lennox the whole time.
Yeah.
That was the main thing. Diva's great. I love No More I Love Yous. And I love how she talks about that being a language. That language has, like it's a profanity or something to say I love you, which the way most people say it is. Caius, Blues for the Red Sun. Of course, they later, merge and often become Queens of the Stone Age, but they were Caius at the time, Blues for the Red Sun, and a very bassy kind of, fuzz kind of stuff going on in that one. Sleep's Holy Mountain is basically a Black Sabbath, bunch of Black Sabbath wannabes, but they were doing that long before anybody else. PJ Harvey with Dry. I think we all forgot about that album because we were all saying that Rid of Me happens, and then the one that Mike showed to Bring My Love, but Dry was in there. How could we forget that? That's a great album. Kiko from Los Lobos. With Kiko and the Lavender Moon. That's one of my favorite songs on there. The whole album's pretty good, though. That's one of those ones that's super hard to find on vinyl. If you do, you have to get the Mobile Fidelity one, which is like $150 or some craziness at this point. And then finally, Daisy Chainsaw with 11, including the song Love Your Money.
Love Your Money. love all your money. Okay, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, this is a crazy album. Those are in no particular order. They're just albums I really like, CDs I really like, and those are all from 1992. I mean, all those CDs. I mean, that's when I've had them all these years. But anyway, that's my list.
Yeah, it was the early 90s for me were weird. I was really young, and we had just bought a house. I had just gotten married. I was living a lie. I was just all kinds of weird shit going on in my life in the early 90s. And I wasn't buying a lot of new music. I was kind of stuck in a rut as far as music went. I was listening to a lot of classic rock. I did not like grunge. I've never heard that Alice in Chains album. I did not like grunge. I don't like Pearl Jam. I don't like. It's just not my thing. So I just never gravitated towards it. So yeah, it was kind of because that was everywhere back then, and I was just kind of, like I said, kind of stuck in a rut, not really looking for new stuff. Listened to a lot of old classic rock. Um, Pavement released their best album, Slanted and Enchanted. Great album. I used to have it on CD. I don't have CDs anymore. I wish I did sometimes. Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes, probably one of the best albums released that year. Unbelievable. Jonathan Richman from the Modern Lovers released I, Jonathan, which is a pretty cool, interesting record. Yeah. I'd love to get that. I think, wasn't that a Record Store Day release a couple years ago? I think it might have been.
And there's been
I think Sings was. Jonathan
Is that what
Sings.
it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. These Immortal Souls released I'm Never Gonna Die. I was into that. Suzanne Vega, who Richard and I just saw in concert last week, released 99.9, and she did that song.
Year?
Yeah.
99.9 Fahrenheit degrees.
Yeah, she did it. It was great. She was awesome in concert. Sugar, the band Bob Mould and Sugar, they released Copper Blue, a great hard rock and freaking album, man. I forgot how hard that record rocks. It's really, really good. There you go. Yeah. Good record. Probably her last good record. Not a. Yeah.
She's got a couple that are yeah.
What did I say? Sugar, yeah, with Copper Blue. Just huge. Just a rockin' fucking record. XTC released probably their last good record, Nonsuch. That came out that year. Paul Weller from The Jam released his first, I think it was his first self-titled album. His first solo album, and it's a self-titled. Lush, the band Lush, released Spooky, which is a really good record. I totally forgot about that. I bet that on vinyl probably goes for a fortune.
They reissued. They just recently reissued their whole catalog.
Did they? I need
like last year. Yeah, like last year they. So yeah.
I need to find that because when I saw that on the list,
I
was like, wow.
I have a greatest hits things of theirs, but
that might be all you need. Jesus and Mary Chain, Honey's Dead. The only Jesus and Mary Chain record I do not have on vinyl. Diva, Annie Lennox, my favorite Annie Lennox album. Her vocals, damn, it's just so good. The whole song, everything on that record is absolutely fantastic. So then I pulled a few records. This is not in here because it's on the turntable. I was listening to it earlier. Love this band. This is a band called Shriekback. This is their album, Scared City, or Sacred City. It's two members of XTC from the very early formations of XTC. They were in the band very early on, and they formed this band. This is their 7th album. It is very funky, but it's also kind of like a post-punk funky album. It's really good. I hadn't listened to it for a long time, and I just put it on before we were making this video, and I just love this. It's probably my favorite record of theirs. Really cool band. We talked about this. My favorite Concrete Blonde record. Love Walking in London. What a great record. And it's got Robert's favorite Concrete Blonde song on it.
Mm-hmm.
Dry, PJ Harvey.
She needs some texture.
She's so damn good. I've been on a PJ kick since we did our album review. I've been listening to all her stuff. And
I listened to that Dry because I forgot all about Dry. I listened to that too. Yeah.
It's great, man. I mean, when she first came out, she was so exciting and different, and she still is different. She's just not as exciting as she used to be. Like that album that came out last year is really good. It's like the perfect PJ Harvey album for 2023. This is a great PJ Harvey album for 1992, and it's wonderful. I've been on a big PJ Harvey kick. I'm surprised no one mentioned this. I thought Craig would for sure, which makes me think it's not from 92, but it is, and that's the Lemonheads, Something About Ray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame about Ray.
It's a shame about Ray. What a great record. What a great record. Just saw them live, last year. They performed the whole thing, and Evan Dando was in decent shape. He could actually sing and put on a hell of a show. It was really incredible album. This is the anniversary reissue that came out, I think, last year. So yeah, the Lemonheads. It's a shame about Ray. Definitely their best
Julian
record.
is all over that record too. So
Yeah.
and My Drug Buddy, that's my favorite song on that
It's
record.
the best song. I love it.
So good.
Rick
Jangle
James
Rock.
Style is pretty good too. Is that on here? I don't want to get stoned, but I don't want to not get stoned.
No, that's
Style.
not. Is that on there? No, I don't think
know.
so. Yeah.
I think that's
Jangle
on-
Rock was really starting to take off. Jangle Rock and alt country was really starting to gather steam, and this band was definitely at the forefront of it. These guys and Uncle Tupelo and bands like that. The Jayhawks. This is their best album. It's not my favorite. I like the one that would follow it, but Hollywood Town Hall, just great. I love the cover of it. It's just small town America, probably Minnesota. And I just love this record. It's really, really good. A band. I thought Richard would mention this band. Morphine. Good. Came out.
I don't have that one. So.
Oh, yeah. Terrific record. This is their second record. Great record. I just really brilliant record. I like all their records, but this is probably my favorite of all their stuff. Morphine. And definitely my favorite record of the year. One of my favorite bands of all time. And it is Kiko and the Lavender Moon by Los Lobos. I love this band so much. This is their best. This and The Neighborhood are their two best records. I wish somebody would reissue The Neighborhood. I have it, but it's a really shitty old copy from probably 1992. Great record. Just rock and roll, soulful.
I thought I had that record and I was looking for it and I'm going, shit, I don't have it.
I have another copy I could probably send you. But yeah,
Oh,
the great record. Just a terrific band, still together, and almost all the members of the band are still in the band. I think there's like one guy who's not in the band, and they've been around for 40 years. So great American band. I love Los Lobos. So yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
Especially
Yeah, a lot
their
of
stuff
great music from '92 of all different styles and whatever, and just I mean, there was so many more that I could have showed too, but I just didn't want to keep pulling stuff. But yeah, you guys really filled in a lot of the stuff that I was going to pull and didn't, And so yeah, I think we're in agreement with most everything except that Concrete Blonde song. So yeah, now it's time to talk about the worst.
We were in agreement.
It's the bottoms.
Well, one that I forgot to include in my tops, I skipped right over it, that I wanted to get the mention in there is the Wallflowers, their debut.
Oh, yeah.
Was from '92.
I never heard that.
And
I love that.
yeah, very, very good album. Bringing Down the Horse is probably their best one, but that was a really excellent debut for them. But yeah, the bottom, actually this release, I really liked it when it came out. I thought it was pretty good. And I, initially had it in my either honorable mention or top, and then I listened to it.
No.
And I thought, oh, this did not age well. This was, I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt that, yeah, maybe it's just, it's just out of time. But then I started thinking, no, this really isn't a very good album. And I've said I like this album before in previous episodes. It's Arrested Development.
Oh, for a game of horseshoes.
Yeah, it's
Go ahead, Mr. Wynn.
Yeah, I listened to this and I'm like, yeah, this is, for one thing, I like gospel music a lot, but I also have a limit with gospel music because it, a little too preachy sometimes.
Music.
These guys are
what
preaching like there's no tomorrow, and it just grinded me. It just like really annoyed me. Really,
we are right there on the same. We are living parallel lives with that CD.
And plus it's got that cartoonish kind of zip 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 zip, and then his voice all sounds like it's from Hanna-Barbera or something. I don't know. It's just
ridiculous.
it's just yeah, not a good album.
No.
I don't know what I was doing in 1992 to think it was a good album, but
we were all trying to get higher, on a higher plane with, and the going back in Africa was big, and I had just seen Malcolm X the movie and read his book, and yeah, we were all trying to like understand, and they were definitely a right place, right time group to sell as much as they did. And
yes,
on MTV. They had the look, they had the attitude, they had the
Yeah, they sold a lot of CDs.
All right, Craig's next.
Wow. Paris came, right? Oh, is that all? Only.
Yeah, that's the only.
Greg has 13 honorable mentions.
No, I don't. I really don't have a lot. Ugly Kid Joe, just anything. Spin Doctors, anything. Billy Ray Cyrus.
God, I hate Spin Doctors.
Little Miss Can't Be Wrong was Little Miss Can't Be Wrong was out in '92.
Oh, wow.
It was
I think the album might have come. I think the album might have come out the following year, but Little Miss Can't Be Wrong was released.
Because that would have definitely been on my bottoms list, for God's sakes.
Yeah, the Pocketful of Kryptonite album was '91.
Roxette released their fourth album that year called Tourism, with the starting with the single off of that called "How Do You Do?" exclamation point, not question mark, but "How do you do?" exclamation point. How do you do? It's terrible, and really, there's only two good Roxette albums, and that's the second and third. And then this one just I saw the title of the song, and so I looked it up, and you can't find the song anywhere. So I haven't heard it, but I listened to the B-side off of this song. But the song is called "All Women Are Bitches," by a band called Fifth Column, and the B-side was called Donna. So I was able to listen to that Donna, because first I hear "All Women Are Bitches." I'm sorry, but I thought it was like a rap hip hop. I really thought it was like, I'm gonna hear some hip hop song. Yeah, but it is not. It is not a hip hop song. It is a female singer. And it's interesting that Robert mentioned this other band earlier, because my thing here is it kind of reminded me of Daisy Chainsaw, or Daisy Chainsaw Reaction. But yeah, not good. But again, I didn't hear the song "All Women Are Bitches." I heard
Daisy Chain Reaction by Poster Children.
No, Daisy Chainsaw.
Daisy Chainsaw. Okay.
Who sings "All Women Are Bitches"?
They're called Fifth Column, and I couldn't even find it on YouTube.
They're from Toronto. Active from 1980 to 95.
How did you find it?
I don't know.
What's your name?
All Women Are Bitches with the 7-inch single from '92.
Yeah, B-side is Donna.
Oh,
where did it play? Where did it place on the charts?
I didn't pay attention to that. I just noticed that it was a single that year, and I was like, "Oh, women are bitches." Well, that's not very nice.
You're like, I gotta hear this.
The average rating is 3 out of 5.
That's the bottom.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about Fifth Column. Now we know. You said Toronto?
Toronto.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 bottoms. There, I did albums this time for bottoms, which I rarely do, but these are albums. And one of them is by Michael Bolton, and it's called "Timeless," the classics. You. And he started all that shit, where you go back and you do the classics, like Rod Stewart was doing the American Songbook and all that. Timeless, the classics, because Michael Bolton needs to come along and be completely overdramatic and ruin a bunch of old songs. Extreme. 3 sides to every story. Now, I've only heard a couple of songs off here, the singles that were on the radio, but it's an Extreme album. How good can it be? It's obviously a bottom.
It's awesome.
Def Leppard, Adrenalize. Now, I'm not the biggest Def Leppard fan to begin with. I thought some of the songs on Pyromania were okay. Like, I always liked Foolin', and I always liked Too Late for Love.
Yeah, Too
I
Late for
thought that Photograph was just kind of okay. And then they come out with Hysteria. Pour Some Sugar on Me, I never liked from the first time I heard it. I thought it sounded sing-songish, and I can't stand... Pour some sugar! I can't stand rock songs like that. And I hated that from day one. Some of the other tracks, I mean, they got like 7 singles off that. What was it? Armageddon and Animal. They're just all wallpaper to me. It's just, I've heard them so much, it's nothing. It's like listening to air. But Def Leppard Adrenalize that's when the bottom falls out. That's when Def Leppard goes from the height of their career and their popularity to seemingly being out of place, I think, because this is the new rock has taken over, the grunge has taken over, all this other, and Def Leppard decides to, instead of continuing their rock reign and just being straight ahead rock, maybe going in a Black Crowes direction, maybe in a Tesla direction, and taking off all the hair and the stupid clothes and just going rock, which they could have done. They go the direction of, we're going to pander to 12-year-olds. And come out with a song called Let's Get Rocked. And it's like, Mom and Dad say, take out the trash? No way. Come on, get real.
Wait, they say take out the trash in that song?
Oh, yeah. It's about a kid who doesn't want to take out the trash and cut his hair and
just know
get that classical music off there and crank up some rock. It's just god awful. And the rest of the songs on there are just as bad. Right? There's ballads on there that are just horrible. There's just, I don't remember what the other songs are, but that Let's Get Rocked was the opening single, and it's just, it's sad is what it is. I mean, like I said, I didn't feel bad for Def Leppard because I never really cared for them in 6 years, but that was sad. I mean, that was just like, this is pathetic. Bon Jovi did the same thing. They got a video with a little kid that I don't remember what the song is, but he's going to the record store and he sees all this grunge rock and he doesn't like that, and he sees Courtney Love lookalike on the video screen and he flips her off and he's gonna go get some real rock like some Bon Jovi. It's like, this is pathetic. You people are absolutely pathetic. You're obviously running scared of a new musical style and you don't know what to do, and it absolutely shows. So 2 more bottoms left as far as album. Richard talked about this one, and it was like, it could have been me saying the exact same thing. I got this, I rarely get pompous. I try not to get pretentious, and I did, and it's my own damn fault. I was pretentious, trying to go, I'm going to get a better understanding of the Black experience and what all of this getting back to, you know what, I'm going to get back to Africa too. I never went out and got the necklace with the Africa on it, or I never wore the thing or the Africa colors, but I did get the Arrested Development. I got this home and I was just like, wait, what did I buy this for? I mean, and then like, I listened to it like twice and it's like, this is just, you know what? I'm just going to go to the Black History Museum and donate something. That's what I'm going to do.
I still like Tennessee.
Tennessee. Come on.
It's time. So for a game of horseshoes, that's the best part. I like and that.
Oh, not the Grateful Dead Tennessee. Oh, okay.
No, that group did bring us Dion Ferris, though.
Yeah, I like that I Know song.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
So my final bottom, speaking of Come On, is called Come On, Come On from Mary Chapin Carpenter. My God.
Oh, shit.
The most banal music. I mean, it's so bad it won Grammys. So, I mean, every time, and not really, I'm not talking about Craig, because Craig actually knows country music. But every time somebody who doesn't know anything about country music, like on a Vinyl Community channel, wants to talk about country music, you can bet that ass the first person they're going to show is Mary Chapin Carpenter. It's every time.
Or Shania.
Every time. No, Shania's too commercial. It's always Mary Chapin Carpenter and Lyle Lovett. And this is just so plain and boring, and just, why is this got like 9 Grammys? Why is everybody, it's light rock, and
I loved it.
Passion.
Well, maybe actually I never heard the whole album, but
ooh, I feel feel lucky today. She actually mentions Lyle Lovett in that song. It's like,
Oh,
it's
she
too
does.
much.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
used
she
to
wants-
have that
come on,
Lyle
Dwight.
Lovett
She
CD.
wants Lyle Lovett and Dwight Yoakam.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, we don't need
Is
Mary
that up
Chapin
in
Carpenter.
Kiss Me
If you're
on
gonna
that
do
too?
country, do country. You don't. What is this, Mary? It's like Alison Krauss. Those are my bottoms.
You are not disrespecting Alison Krauss.
Alison Krauss is better than Mary Chapin Carpenter, but small
yeah.
doses. Small
By
doses.
far.
Alison
Not even in the
Krauss
same
is like
class.
a fucking angel.
You don't want to do a whole album of Alison Krauss. It
I
starts
do.
getting a little too nasally.
I thought I had that Lyle Lovett from that year, the Joshua Judge's Ruth. I used to have that CD, but I don't have it anymore.
What the hell did Ruth do?
I was just gonna say that's not really nice of Joshua to judge her. What did she do to him, asshole? Go ahead, Mike.
And in the comments, we're joking. We know what Joshua Judge's Ruth
Yeah,
is.
we're joking.
Yeah.
I just have one
I'm-
bottom, and they were brought up earlier by someone. I never understood this band. I never understood this band's popularity. I
Oh,
guess
here
is what
comes
I'm
Alice
trying
in
to say.
Chains.
And it is the band, the Bare Naked Ladies, and their album Gordon.
That album is so
Stupid
great.
Yoko Ono song.
And If I Had $1 Million and New Kids on the
God.
Block. Oh, I love
had
that record.
friends in 1992. They all wanted to go see the Bare Naked. Come on, Mike, let's go see the Bare Naked. Fuck no, they suck.
They probably didn't know it was
I
a band.
just don't. I never understood why they were so popular. Could not understand it.
Because
I
people don't know
only
it's a
like their-
band. They see a poster that says Bare Naked Ladies tonight.
Let me go.
Yeah, you know what? Knowing my friends, that's probably exactly
Right.
You're right.
It's like calling your band Free Beer.
And that was their
Oh,
biggest
man.
album, wasn't it, Gordon? I don't
No,
it's
it was
one,
probably
like-
Stunt was the big one.
the one with 1 week or whatever. But
Yeah, Stunt.
Oh.
Gordon is the only one that I like. There's a lot of memories attached
Yeah,
to
it's
that
bad.
record for me. So 1 week since that's whatever. But Gordon is
Never
the
understood
only,
it.
really the only album of Bare Naked Ladies that I love. So, and I love it.
They're
And I
still around.
still
All
love
right.
it.
Nah,
What,
they're really
what
good.
year are we going to like and dislike next?
Ooh.
We are gonna like and dislike 2010.
Suddenly,
Ooh.
1992 is looking a lot better, isn't it?
It really is. But you know what? In 2010, I knew I was back into buying albums and going to record stores and listening to new music. So yeah, I'll find something.
2010 tops and bottoms are coming up, as well as our album review of Richard's choice of the Decemberists is on the way, and
Yep.
we'll do our playlist battle for the Cowboy Junkies. Who has the favorite Cowboy Junkies songs? Your favorites on their playlist. You'll decide that. So all of that and much, much more is on the way with the Vinyl Community Guncles. Once again, I'm Robert Fitton, along with
Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Craig's buying a plethora.
and Mike at Uptunes.
hopefully we'll talk again next time.
I hope so.